Rock 100.5 KATT. I am Cameron Buchholtz here with Eric from Prevail. What's going on, man?
Not much, just sitting on the tour bus waiting to play the show and stoked to be here.
Indeed, man. It's a sold-out show tonight, which is pretty awesome. The line is insane out there.
It's wild. I think this is like seventh show that's sold out on this tour so far. I mean the rest of the tour is pretty much sold out, which is nuts, but it's been fun.
Definitely your first Oklahoma City sold out show, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure, especially in a room this size. It's pretty wild.
Indeed, yeah. This round you kind of jumped up to the bigger venue and still sold it out, so that's amazing, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's we were in the middle of tour in Europe when the world shut down. We had to run home and spent 2 years working on the record, and wasn't sure what to really expect coming back out and touring, and it was almost like the wild west. Once the gates opened and bands started touring, it was every band's out there, all the venues are booked, so it's kind of like what's the touring world going to be like in 2022? Are kids coming out the shows? Are they going to go out to every show that they possibly can? Are they going to be a little hesitant? But to see this tour just sell out as quickly as it has been, and seeing all the kids just craving these shows and playing these shows and seeing these kids just go nuts, it's been such a great experience.
Awesome. And you guys are really just getting started, right? What is it, like 10-12 days into the tour? So like,
yep, I think I think this is show 9, I think. Yeah, so
it's a lengthy tour too. You guys are going like basically straight up to Thanksgiving, so
yep.
It's just only beginning, man.
Yeah, it's week 1.5 out of I think like 8 or something like that. We have a week off in the middle of October, which will be nice to go home and recharge. But man, I've been craving to tour so bad for the last 3 years, and now we're finally out here. It's like I just feel like I'm back where I'm supposed to be, so it's great.
Nice. And you guys were, compared to a lot of bands, relatively slow to get back onto the road. Was it just a conscious decision to just wait till the new record was out as opposed to trying to go back out mid last year or whatever?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, while everyone else is going out, and there's a lot of bands that are putting out records during COVID and not being able to tour it, and I understand where they're coming from, and just trying to get more content and keep people happy with there's music still, but for us we were like, we have one shot at coming back and really just busting out the gate real strong. So we just took our time, finished this record over, like I said, over the last 2 years, and once that was ready, we were like, all right, now it's time. Let's go swinging 100% full on. Let's just give this record and our fans the best experience and the best life it could have.
Nice. And it is about, a month since the release of the record, and so that must feel good because you guys are pretty much killing it right now.
Thank you. Yeah, the record came out, I think it was a month yesterday, and we just saw some of the numbers that were coming back in from the streaming and stuff like that. It's it's hard not to think I'm living in a simulation because shit's going too well. It's just crazy.
Nice. Well, and you guys did the I think the smart thing of a band that of your kind of style to do, which is basically release 2 singles at essentially the same time. You got the heavy one for the diehards, yeah, and then you got the poppier one that kind of goes to radio to us. Mm-hmm. And talk to me about that kind of mindset, and especially your role in the band. Of it's changing. It seems a little bit on Bad Things. You're almost being Mr. Mike Shinoda in there.
That's a huge compliment. I'm a big fan. We had this record that had the most songs on a record that we've had so far, and in the beginning we were like, maybe 3 singles and then a single on the release day, and I as a fan, when a band has a record and they put out 3-4 songs, and then I finally hear the record and it's 10 songs, and it's like, all right, well, I heard that for 6 months, all right, I'll skip that one. Oh, I heard that one for 3 months, I'll skip that one. And by the time you get to the end of the record, it's like, man, that was a short record. Well, it really wasn't. It was just I skipped through the songs I heard. So I think that was that played a little bit of a part of into the release where we're like, we'll give them this one, we'll give them this one, and then here's the rest of the record. It's still it's not a huge thing to digest, but you feel like you have a full record when you finally get it. And I've just been rapping, been singing a little bit on this record. It's been fun.
Nice. And had you really clean sang before this, really, or is this kind of a newer thing?
Live, I do a little bit of harmonies with Brian and stuff like that, and singing on my own time here and there. But and I had the last couple records, Lifelines and Trauma, there was a couple lines here that I harmonize or sing a little bit. But moving to this record, really, the guys were like, Brian and Steve were while we were writing it, especially the ballad, like Doom, the piano song, we didn't really know which direction to take it, and we're writing for it, and then we got to the part and I was like, let me take a crack at it, and laid it down, and the guys were like, oh, this is good, let's just keep rolling with it. So it was fun to be able to try new things. It was a great environment with the guys that we have to feel comfortable and to trying these new things and not be like, hit a flat note and then go, nope, get out of the booth, you're done. But this is one of the first times I really got to sing a lot more on a record, so it's fun.
Nice. And that's not really a super common thing of dudes that scream really well and then can also, that's a pretty short list, really. There's dudes that try, but it's iffy here and there.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking, especially the first show. We've been playing the song live, and sang in front of a handful of people. But then first show, I think it was near 2,000 people, and I walk up there, I'm like, oh shit, this is the first time I'm actually singing in front of a bunch of people. So it was a little nerve-wracking, but yeah, it's been great.
Nice. And how much of the new record are you guys performing live?
I think that's going to be a little bit of a surprise for the people that come out and see the set. I don't want to give it too much away, but I feel like we have a good mix of a lot of the new stuff, holding back on a few of them for the next time we come around, but I was make sure we sprinkled in a lot of enough of the old stuff where it didn't feel like we're pushing a new record on the fans that aren't ready for it, but we're also not just like living in the glory days and playing just the old songs that we're comfortable with. It's kind of hard now. The more you put out more music, it's like, well, we got to keep that song, but I really want to play that song. And so this is really the first time we built a set list this long and also had the really tough decisions of being like, I really want to play this, but maybe we should wait till the next tour. So, but yeah.
Nice. Well, I feel like the first time I heard Body Bag, I was like, oh, this is just going to destroy live. Like, it's got to get a good pop, right?
It was awesome being able to debut that in Australia and getting to play that. That was a lot of fun. Australia, actually, they thought it was a couple other more severe things, but it turned out I had a severely pinched nerve in the back of my neck. And playing that song for the first 6-7 shows it was tough because I wanted to go hard and bang my head and run around and all that, but every time I moved my neck, I'd have a migraine. I had a migraine for 3 days straight, and I went to the hospital in the first show, and they thought I had a brain bleed, and it turned out just be a pinched nerve in the base of my skull. But now that I've been adjusted and I'm better, playing this song live, it's wild that it's been out for a little over a month and I don't have to sing half the song. I can just hold it out. It's wild. I love playing it. Just love playing it every night.
Awesome, man. And as far as the production goes this time around, what was your thinking? Because you guys have kind of done a few different things. I mean, that wrestling themed tour was I was just waiting for you guys to get sued by WWE. But so what's kind of was the mindset going into this True Power tour?
This one, we wanted to elevate everything. We wanted to have the stage presence, the sound, the production, everything on the next level, and especially coming out of the gates, running, swinging hard, wanted to have this larger than life feel. And I look back on the shows that I played that I went to as a kid watching, and remember what shows really just lived in my mind as like highlights and the best of the best and legacy acts. And I think everyone in this band wants to be that band that goes on for 20 years. So going into this tour, we were thinking, let's pull out all the stops. Let's have the biggest moments that we can live. Let's make sure these songs sound massive live and give kids, and hopefully, seeing a lot of these kids that are saying like, their dads or their parents are taking them and it's their first rock show. I want to make sure this show is like, it can't be topped for the next 5 years for this kid. And I think we really focused on bringing the biggest show we could possibly for these venues. And I'm really, really proud of our crew, really stoked at what we're doing, and yeah, can't wait to play the rest of this tour and see what we can do for the next one.
Indeed, man. Well, I can't wait to see it tonight, and congrats on the record, and just I appreciate the time.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me. Everyone listening, thank you so much for jamming the record from our last stuff to the new stuff. This ride's been a wild one, and I appreciate everyone that supported us and stood by us, especially through the whole COVID time, and waited to see what we came out with, and it means the world for us and to us. And just stoked to finally be back playing shows, being back where I feel like I belong, and can't wait to share these moments with everyone.